The gods of the Empire rule over all, regardless of whether you are a peasant or burgher, knight or priest, rat-catcher of the Emperor himself. All must pay heed to the wisdom, rules, and decrees of the gods. To ignore them, or worse, belittle them, is to invite disaster. From Alfred Schumann, a priest of Verona. A deeply superstitious people, the Empire has always looked to their gods for hope, prosperity, and salvation upon a world that is awash with misery, destruction, and corruption. Generally, nearly every village, town, and city has dedicated a portion of its wealth and land to the construction and maintenance of at least one imperial deity. It is from these temples and shrines that people deposit their daily offerings, hoping to curry their favor and perhaps improve their lives in some way or form. These cults possess a considerable political influence on the workings of the Empire, be it through religious or fiscal means. Such is the case that even the cult of Sigmar and the cult of Ulrich have an electoral power to choose who shall become the next emperor, a power that is usually reserved only for the elector counts. Currently, the cult of Sigmar holds the strongest influence within the Empire's large web of bureaucracy, having the ability to cast 3 votes within the selection process, with each vote being divided towards the Grand Theogenist and his 2 arch-lictors. Such is the ever-growing influence of the Sigmarite cult that it is now common to consider the people of the Empire simply as Sigmar's folk, or the Sons of Sigmar. Depending on the location of a particular community, some areas of the Empire have a certain degree of worship, often towards a certain family of gods. Within the northern provinces of the Empire, the people of those harsh lands have been known to worship an older pantheon of gods, known as the Elder Gods, whilst in the south, the worship of the classical gods is more common. Such religious differences have been known to have resulted in the Empire experiencing a certain degree of religious strife, the most prominent of which was during a period of civil war that many historians call the Age of the 3 Emperors. During that time, an elected emperor, along with Sigmarite followers, fought against 2 self-proclaimed emperors of the province of Middenland and Talabakland, both of which were worshippers of Ulrich and Tar. The resulting devastation and centuries of warfare has ensured the creation of a regular conclave of faith in Altdorf for the high priests of every major faith in the Empire to gather together, letting them air their disputes to the reigning emperor and come into an agreement without the need for bloodshed. The Patron Guard. The Empire has been known to worship a specific god that is not connected with either the Elder or Classical gods. Instead, the Imperials worship a god who was originally born as a mortal, who founded the Empire and was rewarded by the old world pantheons with the ultimate gift of godhood. Sigmar, warrior god of mankind, and the founder of the Empire. The Northern Gods. The Elder Gods, also known as the Country Gods or the Northern Gods, are the oldest of the Old World pantheons, whose origins of worship can be traced back for nearly 2 millennia during the time when primitive human tribes began to settle within the lands of the Empire and the Old World. They are comprised of Tal, the god of the wilds and the husband of Raya; Raya, the goddess of agriculture and birth and the wife of Tal; Manan, the god of the sea and the son of Tal and Raya; and at last Ulrich, god of winter and wolves and the younger brother of Tal. The Southern Gods. The classical gods, also known as the town gods or the southern gods, are the youngest of the Old World pantheons, whose worship is usually confined to the lands of the Southern Empire and the lands of Telia and Estalia. They are comprised of Mor, the god of death and the husband of Verena; Verena, the goddess of justice and learning and the wife of Mor; Myrmidia, the goddess of warfare and strategy, and the daughter of Mor and Verena; Shalia, the goddess of mercy and healing, and the daughter of Mor and Verena as well; Ronald, the god of trickery and thieves; and Cain, the god of blood and murder, and the younger brother of Mor.